Hello, everyone. I think we are live now. It's great to have you all here at the Women's Day special open mic. Just a bit about UBI. UBI stands for United by Ink, and it's been a community founded by Sapna Shivani Kekreji, and it's a writers community wherein you can post, you can share whatever you write, maybe in the form of poems, quotes, anything that you feel. Right. So we they conduct open mic sessions every Sundays, and today is the Women's Day special, and we have some lovely women around us today. Um, this open mic is specifically, as I said, is for Women's Day, and as we are going to celebrate it, it's coming soon. So, yes, we are going to share maybe poetry or stories on women, or the theme is women, and it's both English as well as Hindi. So I hope you all enjoy it today. We have some talented women out here. So this year's theme for Women's Day is empowering equity, not equality. So it's about how a woman is encouraging other women. So I think UBI is one of the best examples, the founder herself, and empowering not only women, women authors, as well as, I mean, plethora of authors, writers, poets. So yes, we will continue the session by the first poet we have with us is Bhagwati Ramakrishnan. She's a postgraduate from Mumbai, and she has been into academics, spanning a long teaching career. She has directed short plays and encouraged a lot of people, students, to enact in them, and training and public speaking is her forte. She's also gets busy with cultural activities around. She has published numerous poems, stories, short stories in several anthologies. Has a passion for writing and reading poetry. So I welcome Bhagwati Ramakrishnan ji. The stage is all yours. Bhagwati ji, you're on mute. If you can unmute.
Thank you, Divya, for introducing me. Now, I've written a poem, The Young Maid, and I shall read it out now. Okay, shall I go on?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. The Young Maid. She waited at the window of her small house, a young damsel gazing dreamily ahead. The young man across was today so late, so joyful was she. Marriage he had proposed. A happy wedding and sublime bliss marked their lives. A noble husband, loving children. She wanted nothing more. She was lucky. He earned much wealth and cared for everyone. But the joy was not to last. Cruel fate snatched him away. Happiness was nipped in the bud. Life was not to bloom. Sadness and despair enveloped her in a blanket of gloom. She wondered about her destiny. What wrong had she done? She wondered about her destiny. What wrong had she done? A young widow at 30, a silently suffering mother, now alone. The timid woman did surprisingly rise like the phoenix, mentored her little ones with right learning and moral strength, walked the untrodden path of self-evolution with grace, snatching success and standing in her tough journey ahead. Her children, though successful, turned to her for guidance, verily in awe of their wonderful mother, a shining beacon of light to look up to. Yes, I'm overwhelmed with love and amazed. This brave woman made me what I am today. My mother, my father, my teacher, all rolled into one. She's truly the elixir of my life. Thank you.
Wow, this
This
one
poem
was
is
lovely.
based on
This one was absolutely lovely. Bhagwati ji, I would like to know what inspired you to write this poem.
it was Mother's Day, and
Okay.
I just got thinking, my mother was such a brave woman. She could face all difficulties, much more braver than me. I'm nothing in front of her. So I got all my thoughts together and paid her homage and
Wow.
wrote this poem.
This is such a lovely tribute to her, I must say. Right. So can we get on to the next one of yours?
Yeah. The next poem is titled Divine Blessing. The bride, one sec. Okay. Sorry, just getting it. Divine Blessing. The bride entered her new home full of dreams. She was well loved and indeed felt like a queen. Never had she imagined such sincere affection. She thanked the graceful Lord for all his protection. Her boons increased manifold when she found her body beautifully flowering with child round. Caringly she nourished the babe in her womb. Joyfully the tidings to all she announced. At the appointed time of birth, her baby fought to live, gasping and struggling, lost the first and the last battle. The weeping mother wished her life was taken instead. Even consoling words of friends, only her grief taunted. Devastated she was, drowned in an ocean of sorrow, losing her sane mind in deep, dark gloom around. Came to terms, she must. Come to terms, she must. Joy in kids orphaned, she sought. Cared for their gentle emotions and academics taught. Brushed aside her despair. Changing to her former self, she hoped and prayed for fresh shoots to bud anew. She was to be a mother. Her entreaties answered. Will she be cheated again? She waited with bated breath. Not again, said God, gifting her with a beautiful child. She taught him to always be dutiful and full of love, respect for elders, kindness for the downtrodden. The lucky one's life turned a full circle now, her cup brimming with contentment and devotion.
Wow. Again, a very, very touching piece, I must say. So anyone else who would like to come and please unmute yourself and you can, talk about
It was
how.
Bhagavati ji, what a brilliantly written poetry. I think you spanned decades of what a woman goes through in such a beautiful way. Sometimes
Thank you.
words fail to convey most of the emotions and feelings that a woman goes through as a mother, as a daughter, and every role that she plays in. And what a brilliantly written piece. Kudos to you.
It was
From
very
our head.
moving.
From
The
our
way,
head.
yeah, the way that part where the baby loses the first and the last battle
Last
of his
battle.
life. That was
Yeah.
very touching, very moving piece.
Yeah, I was inspired to write this poem after I met someone who faced this problem very closely. I
Right.
saw their suffering, and that is why I could put in the emotions.
It was indeed very heartfelt, and the way it was recited also, it really was so touching.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. I mean, I think every woman, every mother can relate. It's a poetic unraveling of what each one, can actually relate. Beautiful, Bhagavati ma'am.
Mm,
Heart
Thank you.
touching and really wrenched us out for a minute.
Yeah, it was a journey.
Yes, it
Completely
was
loved it.
indeed, and as you said that you got inspired from someone who had gone through it, and sometimes it's really difficult because you have not felt it, and you have seen somebody, and putting those emotions right, into the poetry, and it's a difficult thing because they know it better, not we. And that itself is is an art wherein you have touched so many people out here with that. And absolutely the reciting of the poetry was wonderful, I must say. It was, the poetry was not rhyming or anything, but it was just in a flow, and it was just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so yes, that was Sis Bhagavati Ramakrishnan over there. We enjoyed her poetry today. And moving on, I will be introducing Parul Sharma, who's a graduate in law from University of London. She's a writer based in Mumbai. Oh, I didn't know that you stay in Mumbai, Parul. So we should catch up soon. And yes, and
Love
I
to.
have seen her reciting poems in Instagram, and I actually sent a few which she didn't recite. So yes, so I'm just kidding. It's nothing like that. It was just that
Oh,
there
I'm
was
sorry.
time.
I think I missed those DMs. I'm going to take it up.
I know.
I
It's you receive so many DMs, so obviously just you cannot accommodate everyone at one go. Moving on, she writes extensively in English and Hindi. Yes, I am as much as a fan of her in Hindi as much as I'm in English. Her poems capture, diverse themes about nature or human emotions and experiences. Besides a writer, she is also a spoken word artist and a translator in translator in English and Hindi languages, and has deep interest in painting and photography as well. Parul aspires to have a positively touch the lives of her readers through her writings, and her work is accessible on Instagram at pearls_poetry_n_more. So that's at Pearls Poetry and More. So please follow her on Instagram. And yes, Parul, you're ready to go. Dying to hear you.
Thank you so much, Divya, for that lovely introduction. I'm so honored and humbled. Thank you so much. And first of all, my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the platform for giving me this opportunity, and to Divya for reaching out to me and to make me aware of this. So thank you to the team members of United by Ink and Divya once again.
It's a
And
pleasure.
today, thank you. So I'll be reading two poems on the topic, and the first one deals about domestic violence. So I'll begin with that. It's about a woman who is a victim of domestic violence and how she gathers strength to finally take a stand against it. So it's titled Blue and Purple. Standing in front of mirror, she hides with makeup, blue and purple marks on her face. Standing in front of mirror, she hides with makeup, blue and purple marks on her face, remnants of brutality, anguish, and pain she suffered in silence in a home like cage. Her wings clipped systematically, her body violated frantically, her voice smothered fanatically, her worth diminished drastically. She wondered, what was she hiding? For what? And for whom? For macho masculinity thumping its chest, unleashing bestiality brazen on bed, for decadent society which couldn't care less if she was breathing alive or buried and dead. Bindi on forehead and vermilion on head, was it worth her own self respect? The wounds on her psyche which no makeup could correct. It's now time, she finally decides. This societal sickness is no more to hide. Behind dismissals and coward smiles, she pulls out her pen and resolutely signs. The divorce papers, a fire ignites, an end to begin her fresh new life.
Wow.
Very
Thank
nice.
You. That was, what should I say? A mix of emotions, though, uh, through, a very sensitive start, you can say, and then towards positivity. So it was great to hear you. And it's always a delight to hear you, Bharat.
Thank you so much, Divya. Actually, unfortunately, it was the idea actually came from one of my very close friends who was going through a very traumatic experience. And although we have these discussions that we have come a long way, but still, even in today's day and time, educated women still face a very big stigma on taking such stands in their lives. So this is something which I've seen like firsthand. So that inspired me to write this piece. And the next, yes. So the next piece is inspired by the women-led protests in Iran, which began in September last year and are still ongoing. And the slogan that this protest had adopted, Jin Jian Azadi, so which translates to women, life, freedom. So the piece is titled Woman, Life, Freedom, and this is how it begins. O chauvinist men born from womb of women. O chauvinist men born from womb of women, how audacious of you to curtail her freedom, the breed that labored to give you birth, you beat her, rape her, shove her to dirt, twisted masculinity, unleashing bestiality, parochial patriarchy blot on humanity, sins you commit in the name of God, the day of judgment, when you shall be called, God shall be shamed that you were born. O women, you have been failed by deafened polity, envied for your beauty, wisdom, and gaiety, punished for intelligence with unfair disparity, Down with customs of spineless societies, let each woman stand together in unity, regardless of color, race, and nationality, for freedom, rights, parity, Jin Jian Azadi. Thank you. Thank you
This
so much.
was amazing, amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Anyone,
think
your thoughts? Because I am out of words here.
I'll take over, Divya. This is Parul. I'm hearing you for the first time. So first thing is
right.
your voice. Tonal quality is so soft. Yeah.
Thank,
And given the subject matter, you expect something very innocent, but wow, you're hard hitting. So then hiding behind that softness and innocence is a powerful voice. Very nice. I loved the first one. So
right.
yes, that was
Thank you so
really
much.
domestic
Uh,
violence. I think we all experience it, if not first hand, then second hand. We always know a victim. And all we can do is just stand there helpless. There's not much we can do. I've actually been involved. You go to the authorities, nothing happens at the end of the day. So yeah, we need more voices like this. The second one, of course, we need more such voices. We need to raise it more. So beautiful, Parul. I really enjoyed.
Thank you so much, Aarti. These words of encouragement really mean a lot to me, and I'm really honored. Thank you. Actually, when I was watching all this news of young ladies losing their lives for such basic rights as opening their hair, it really hits deep inside our hearts that in today's time there are women who are even deprived of these basic rights. So it's like sometimes we have these discussions whether feminism is out of context now to have these discussions. But I think to when we see such news, I think it's very much relevant, and we need feminist voices in discussions and in debates. I mean, we are far from that goal of equality.
Truly, you literally gave goosebumps through both of your pieces. It was really amazing.
Thank you, Prachi. I'm so happy to see you here.
Blue is my favorite color, but yes, it's not good. I don't like it when it is where it's not supposed to be. So yeah, very beautifully written, both of them.
That's a very powerful statement, Rajni. Indeed.
No, it is. I mean, blue is my favorite color, so not where it's not supposed to be, though.
Right.
Very beautifully written, Parul. A lot of strength in what you have written, a lot of truth in what you have written. And when you do talk about feminism, one of the things that I do say is feminism is not about fighting for equality, because I think we already are par above all that, right? So when we fight for equality, we are saying we are lesser than you, and we are not. So I think that's something that has to come through, and strong writers can actually convey a lot of messages and inspire women to be stronger. I know where you come from, and I know what you've written. So there's a lot behind that. So we'll talk on a different level at some other point of time, but beautifully written. I know what you've talked about and what you've written. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Kay. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Great.
Parul, you have expressed very nicely all these feelings, and we must speak about all this, and we must support other women who are fighting for it. Here we have self-respect, we have freedom. We don't realize that there are so many who are suffering and who have to fight for it and literally give up their lives. So we should
Right.
support them by putting in such work, literary work. Good show, Parul.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It really means so much. Thank you.
It's such a bold thing to write about. Not everyone does that. To come out, and I think poetry is something wherein you can be bold. You have the license to do that. So I think you did it that way, and I really appreciate it. Sometimes I do think about such bold topics, but it just doesn't. When you get to write on it, you just don't get the words. So it's probably the writer's block, or you just then say, no, just leave it. I'm not able to write it. So I think really an inspiring one, both of the poems, Parul, and I will try my best to write a bold one after this for sure.
Thank you so much. This is the biggest appreciation for me if my words could inspire. So I think that's the biggest honor for any writer. So I'm greatly humbled. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you so much for being here today. In just one request of mine. So thank you so much.
Absolutely an honor.
Right. So yes, moving on, as we are here to inspire each other, and as I say, we are embracing equity today. So let's move on. I don't know how to introduce her. She just lives close by. Aarti V. Karanam is a digital educator and a education teacher with a passion to teach. Yes, she is a teacher. I was never bound to be one, but I am teaching. I don't know. So is an avid reader, and she has contributions. Her contributions include creative web content writing, several travelogues and children's stories as well. She's a wonderful storyteller, I must say. She's also a certified parenting coach. To keep herself fit, she is also a yoga protocol instructor. She hopes to inspire people and create a positive impact on them through her writings, her paintings on social causes. She has not mentioned this in her bio. She is a wonderful singer as well. So Aarti, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Divya. So Divya and me are soul sisters, yeah. And she was the one who reintroduced me to writing. I owe you so much, darling. Thank you so much. And thank you, UBI. UBI is so special. Always a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you so much. And
You already were
Yeah.
writing. I mean, you already were writing. I
But I had
started
taken a
it really late.
sabbatical. I would have never come back without you. Divya, false modesty is not appreciated. Thanks. All right. So thank you so much. And today's poetry, really, all of them, they are giving me goosebumps. I hope to do justice as well. So today's poems, the poems I'm going to recite are dedicated to the warrior goddess residing inside each of us. Some of us have let her sleep. Some of us are trying to rediscover her, discovering. So let's go to her. And I found you amongst the wild birds of song, your wings spread in gay abandon. And your song of life and glory and everything good strummed the strings of many a heart. I discovered you, giggling and planning with your naughty girl gang. Uh-oh, someone was not going to have a pleasant day today. The mast of the errant pirate ship flew high. As I saw you perched higher, you are the queen of the seas and the skies. You looked back and smiled at the past you had left behind. It didn't matter in the least if they were in pieces and you had left them to their fate. It was a bliss, wasn't it? You had escaped so much, but a thought penetrated like sunbeams. I have escaped much, but am I not missing much too? Satori suddenly happened, and I hopped on to the golden wings of desire and hope, and came back to the earth, to eternity, to my family, to my life, to reality. The life I had is stormy with flecks of sunshine. Life is but light and done. When it weighs much, I will escape to the clouds, become a bird and hide under the waves, but I will always come back. I will not melt into oblivion. I'm a warrior goddess. I rise, I fall, I cry, I heal, I run away, but I always come back. Thank you. Thank
You always come back, I know.
Yes, you know, we always come back. I think we as women folk, no matter what, we may hide, we may run away, we may cry, but we always come back. We don't run away from our responsibilities for long. I think we
course
can all
not.
connect with that.
Yeah, true. We can actually never run away, I think.
I think we must sometimes, because when it
Yeah.
gets too heavy,
It's
also-
important sometimes to just run
Yeah.
away. I too feel a lot of times like that, but I don't know. I can't do that probably. I
Run
don't
away
know. That's
doesn't
me.
mean
That's-
there are you run away. Run away means temporary.
Yeah, I know.
sabbatical.
I got that. Yeah.
away detachment rather. Because a lot of time nowadays I see women everywhere, we are supposed to be super women. Why? We are human. It's
We are not
okay
supposed to be.
It's okay to take a break. There's so much of pressure on us. Do this, do that. I mean, why? So I think this is pertinent and necessary for us women to remember this.
That superwoman part actually gives so much pressure.
Yeah,
Yes.
actually it does.
Yes.
So I am not a superwoman.
No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be either. So I'll
said
move on to
that
the
too.
second one.
I had said this to my super boss once. I am not superwoman. I'm only one person.
Correct. We need to assert this more everywhere, within our family, within our workplace, even with our children. Because we have set the expectations high. And then we don't want to fail, and then it becomes too much. It's a never-ending vicious circle. So I think somewhere we need to pull the stops. Us, right? I'll go to the second one because I
Yeah,
think my
sure.
network is a bit jittery today, so I'll finish it. Yeah. Second one again, dedicated to the warrior goddess. There spake the real warrior goddess, her eyes shining with ire and breath-eating fire, breast heaving with determination. The third eye snapped open with vengeance. The murky dungeons illuminated with the golden color of life. Flowers bloomed, birds chimed, the darkness gave up to the impossible power of light of life. The warrior goddess looked around her in wonder. The ire subdued, the raging fire mellowed down. The goddess realized that she was the warrior goddess, but inside her lived the mother of this universe. Even her anger would only create and procreate. She smiled and glowed, and sighing with contentment, she put her head on her arms and went to sleep. Thank you. Thank you.
Aarti, I was expecting more from that.
I
think that's all it deserves because
Yeah, I was also going to say that. That's the beauty of it. Short and hard hitting.
that is for us to continue, Divya. So everywhere.
Okay,
see,
I'll
a lot
continue
of-
that.
Yeah, please. Because see, what happens a lot of times, both these poems are heartfelt. A lot of times we feel so angry at the ill treatment meted out to us. We only give, a lot of times it's not reciprocated, even within a family. You know, after you're married into a family, you're born into a family, you feel somewhere, somewhere that satisfaction is missing because you're not reciprocated for all the sacrifices. It's not that we want, but somewhere you want that one word of appreciation, one word of encouragement. Sometimes so many unfair things happen. You so want to go all out. It's like you want to burn up everything. But even that anger, we are procreators, we are nurturers. We cannot run in it.
Actually, we can't be angry for so long.
So we are women at the end of the
Why
day.
can't
We are
we?
the most.
Anyway.
That's
But
why
you
the world
do
is not-
feel, sorry, you do feel good when someone appreciates you and it encourages you on for
motivates.
further
That's so fun.
successes.
Somewhere
I think everybody
you
feels
need
good
a-
when someone appreciates. I think it's the same with it's nothing to do with a gender per se, but yes, and women are I mean they are generally not appreciated for what they do. So yes, I might find I might be sounding feminist here, but that is the truth all along. So
Sometimes it is a thankless job. And I think one of the most important things is all of us forget to love ourselves first. We don't love and forgive ourselves. Only when we can do that, we can expect that back. And I think we are very hard on ourselves most of the time. And Aarti, what a brilliantly written piece. Beautifully,
Thank you.
beautifully, put, beautifully written. And although the second one was short, sweet, and yes, it conveyed the message just like, Rajani said, it was just apt. It's apt.
Thank you so much.
Very,
But I
very
would
nice
really
written.
love all of us to continue that, not just in poetry, but in our lives, something to think about.
And I think that,
That was
it's
my
very
aim.
important. That's why I said, so if we respect, love, and forgive ourselves, I think we'll be able to do that. And most of the times, I think one of the first things we need to learn to do is read our own books. We'll find
100%.
ourselves then.
Correct.
Very nicely.
Forgiving ourselves is very important, especially as women. I think we're very hard on ourselves. Very true. Thank you so much.
Wonderfully written.
Uh, Yeah, so I think we are having a lot of fun here. It's all woman thing today. Yes.
I,
So
I just wanted to compliment Aarti for both the pieces. Both were so thought provoking. The first one talking about always coming back, and the second one about the repressed anger that we have. And as Kay said right now, that it's often thankless jobs that we do, and something which I mean, so many experiences we gather along, and I can now connect it. You know, when I'm reading, when I'm hearing all of these wonderful poets here. One of my friends I would like to share. She's mother of two, and she's stay-at-home mother, and she was just discussing. You know, I don't know how my day flies off. I don't know where my time goes. I am not doing nothing, Parul. I'm just taking care of my children. I'm just at home, but I don't know how my time goes, you know. And I said, how can you say that you're doing nothing? You are taking care of two very young children. And of course, I can understand as a mother that how demanding that is. And you are doing such a brilliant job of raising two wonderful kids. The point I'm trying to make is that we ourselves weigh us down so much. She being such a wonderful woman and devoting herself, she's a CA right now. She has taken a break, and that's fair enough. I mean, we all have that. We can have that choice to take a break, for whatever reasons. We don't have to be answerable to everyone why we have done that. And having taken that break, now she's now so hard on herself. So I said, you need not. And I mean, you are doing so much in your day, so don't think you're doing nothing. So just to like share the thought that Aarti has put forth, I think we as women, I think we need to be more appreciative of each other. I think that is where our role can come.
And that's
true, and
exactly what
I
is
think
lacking, I think, in today's world, right? The art of appreciation.
Yes.
I think we
True.
will have to teach people the art of appreciation.
Yes.
and a lot of times I think the guilt also creeps in, and then you start being hard on yourself. So I think guilt is
Because
something.
we have to fill in the stereotypical expectations, you know. So we need to teach our sons more than our daughters. I mean, it's again, we are trying to create a battle between the sexes. Why? We are all important in our own skin and shell. So everything comes there, appreciation, self-appreciation. So yes, thank you, girls. I really feel nice. Now I'm feeling like a woman. Proud to be.
It's a great day today. I think I am having a wonderful time out here with you girls. I will come to girls from women. So making all of you younger.
We are young.
Yeah,
Yeah, young
because
we
I
are.
stopped my
That's
clock
why I
at
said
25. I
girls,
don't
no?
know about you.
Sorry?
I stopped my clock at 25.
That's great. That's great.
So I think
No,
you can call us girls.
I will rather call myself 38 years young than 38 years old. So
Nay, at
That's a
heart,
good
we are all young,
Yes, most definitely.
being poets. At
Yeah.
heart, we are young.
great. So moving on, our next poet is Rachi. Rachi Divish Tanna. She lives in Vadodara. She's a self-published, her self-published debut book, with some poetry, was published when she was just 21. The name is Embracing Bliss. So please find it on Amazon. I hope it is available there. While she was a final year student and faculty of technology and engineering, she currently works at L&T Technology Services. She composes poems both in in English, Hindi, and Gujarati, and also writes thought-provoking articles. Yes, one of those which I recently came across. It was not an article, but it was just about expectations. And she aims to inspire masses with her work. She is a self-employed personal tuition teacher and has been teaching Sanskrit, mathematics, and English to students since she was in 9th grade. She also has her own Hindi poetry podcast available on all major music platforms, which is known by the name Zindagi, Pyar aur Khushiyan. So over to you, Parul. Over to you, Prachi.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And I'm really grateful that I could join this platform through you. I know we were just discussing on expectations, and somehow the next day you asked me whether you would like to join the open mic. So I'm really glad. And thank you to the United Buying platform as well as you. Thanks a lot.
It's great to have you here, Prachi.
Okay. So the first poem which I have, it is kind of like a song. It goes in that tune. And it basically is a message which young girls want to say to those people, like people are possessive about them. Right, okay, you should not do these things, you should not wear these things. But there are certain emotions inside those girls which are trying to tell the society that please let me be me. And that is the main message of this poetry. And here it goes. Yeah, I know that you are worried about me, and I also know that it isn't wrong to feel. But tell me one thing, why don't you make me independent to face all things? Why don't you make me strong enough to deal with things? Why how the world is always hampers my peace? Why can't I for once just be free? Let me be me, take me for me. Let me be me, take me for me, let me be free. Yes, many girls out there are just like me. Some people's deeds snatches away their dreams. Oh, for God's sake, tell me one thing. Why do women pay for some man's needs? Why do people have a say in their dreams? Why can't they wear what they wish to wear? Why can't for once this world be fair? Let me be me, take me for me. Let me be me, take me for me. Let me be free. And don't you take me wrong, I'm not blaming all men. Oh, I hope that you understand. My father and my brother are also male. I won't do a thing to disgrace them. The fault here is of ignorant minds, the ones who don't know what is right. But don't you think that now it is high time? So let me be me, take me for me. Let me be me, take me for me, let me be free. Thank you.
Wow. Let us all be free.
Thank you so much.
That was a great song, I should say.
It wasn't meant to be a song, but somehow the way I wrote it, it just turned into that
Yeah,
flow.
it's actually very difficult to write a song, Prachi. So
Yeah.
how was it when you were writing it?
Actually, I was just considering there had been many similar experiences with some of the people. And it's like, when you want to go out or when there is certain things, certain restrictions which come in place and which somehow are against what you wish. So you have this thing in mind, like, I am not at fault. Okay, the society is that way, the people wish to protect me. But yes, there is something which inside all of us which says that we need that freedom. We need to be open. No one should be able to, put chains on us or control us in that way that you are not able to explore. Because once you explore, then only you grow. So with that feeling itself, it has been taken up. And that line, hook line, it just stood in my mind. So I kind of made it a repetition and made it up. Yeah.
It was great to hear you. It was just like so serene, to hear that, though it was meant to be a poetry, but just it was like a song. When you sang it, it was really very serene to hear it. It's very, very calming.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So the second piece which I have, it says that she is an ember. So woman is an ember in true sense. It's on the basis of that. And here it goes. She is an ember. She is an ember in true sense. She survives even in the heat of injustice. And when everyone around her burns out, unable to bear the toxicity they throw out, she still shines golden. Young girls, she emboldens. She is an ember in true sense. Keep striving with inner power immense. There is no balance without her contribution. She can kindle the fire of evolution. And once she recognizes her power, she becomes an all-rounder achiever. Thank you.
I think that was a
Beautifully.
very short and sweet one from your end. Obviously hard hitting as well. I would like other people to come in and, you know,
Very nice
Brevity-
question, Prachi.
Brevity is actually more, sorry, please
Yes.
continue. I'll
I'm
continue
sorry.
later.
Yeah, brevity is the soul of wit. Exactly what I was. So
Yeah.
beautifully written. Both pieces have been written with a lot of thought process in it. And I do know, because of you being a young girl, I do know that there is a whole lot of, disparity of thoughts from everywhere else. And I think you put it into context, and you have expressed exactly what needs to be probably a lesson for other people. Having said that, I would definitely say hold your head up high. And I think most of the times when you do reach out inside, you will know exactly what the path is. And I think you should just keep following that.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks.
I also liked your first song very much. I'm sure my young granddaughter would like to grab it and make it a hymn, and her friends might make it theirs too. Just what they feel and just what they think. You have just to put in their thoughts into your song. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like I said, brevity is more effective than verbosity. So a lot of times you don't need to write much. It's nice to have young blood, have your thoughts so crystal clear. So a few lines are enough. So yes, like your granddaughter, my teenage daughter would love to, add some rap to it. It can actually be said to music. It's nice, very nice. Please continue, Prachi. They're very nice.
Thank you so much.
Can we have the words? I mean the lyrics?
Yeah, sure. I'll share.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, if she can share it on the group and yes.
Yeah.
Really loved Prachi. Your song was really it was so I mean, it just went on in my mind even after you finished singing. It was so captivating, and the thought behind that, which when you were explaining the song, you said that we should leave the girls to explore rather than trying to curtail their freedoms and trying to protect them. Let them
Right.
be and let them decide what is right and wrong for them. I think that thought is very important, because sometimes in protecting, we are curtailing their growth. So I think that thought which you have put across is really, really very good. And of course, the second one, both the pieces were really amazing. But the first one was really, really captivating.
Thanks.
I've heard Prachi before, but yes, what I learned about you today is really impressive. So yeah, I hope to be on your next live soon enough, and maybe go
Sure.
live as well. So yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
you've always been good. So keep it up.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great. So having a lot of songs, poetry, I think I just made my day today. And with such lovely people around.
I think we all did.
Yes, yes, of course. Moving on to our next poet, polyglot Malayali, born in Mumbai, Rajni Nair had aspired to join the IAF and cleared her SSB flying branch interview. She has over 15 years of work experience in training, quality, operations, and customer service, and is currently teaching at Global Indian International School, Kuala Lumpur, and has been the HOD English and HOD English and SSC Standard 3 to 5 teacher poetry is her expression of emotions, and she's a part of, she has been a part of many anthologies. She's a proud author of her books. The first one being The Bouquet of Emotions. The second one, The Darshan Fly Effect. And the third one, The Incandescent Ardor. These are her solo collections. And apart from that, I am honored to have her as my co-author in Impetus, Rhymes Within Us. So yes, she dedicates her second book, which was supposed to be her first, but was her second, The Darshan Fly Effect, to Darshan Rawal. She considers Darshan Rawal her spirit. So let's hear from you, my co-author.
Thank you, Divya. And yes, it has been an honor and pleasure to be here. I've been on a long hiatus. I haven't written like in very long. And as I got told that I should be a part of this, I couldn't refuse Shyamji the second time. And I was diving into my treasure and I found some very appropriate ones. There was an anthology called Her Silhouette, for which I had contributed 2 poems, and I thought they were very appropriate for the occasion. And I generally am a cradle to grave person, so my poetry is pretty much from beginning to end. May not have a good ending, but I guess it's very positive to look at. And my first piece is called Footprints. Well, there's one Footprints which is in Impetus, but this is very different from that. But for me, footprints are not just the impressions on the ground. It has a whole different meaning for me. So here goes. Footprints. Life has just sprouted, but the evil eye has perceived. It will not see the light, for she has been conceived. They presume themselves as gods, decide the destiny. Please erase these footprints, they are only cacophony. Her existence is considered an irritant that flares. Even though knee-high, all she gets is glares. Age never a deterrent for the evil roving eye. Such footprints just shameful, depicting the awry. Venturing out with her poise, she's always judged. Whatever she undertakes is marred, leaves her smudged. The scars, they run deep. No one will ever know. Her footprints are white, not showing where they go. Disheveled she walks, ripped to shreds her shroud. Imprints on her being yell, none of us can be proud. This doom she's born into craves to be altered. These footprints shake me, they have just faltered. Adorning jewels and dosh, this jewel is exhibited. Like for her presence, the others have contributed. Toiling for everyone, a given forgets her subsistence. The footprints are all skewed, will not go the distance. It's time for the cycle then to repeat once again. Will she resist? Will she take it to the gain? Long way she's come from the meek self she was, leaving such footprints, showing everyone who's the boss. Bringing forth the life, its challenges she rises to. Though a part of them she's been, she starts anew. Enduring the ways of the world, she moves with elan. What footsteps she'll leave is a part of the plan. Here she is at the threshold, knowing which way to go, won't relent to turmoil. Her trophies she has to show. Her essence, a spitting image, she will carry this legacy. Their footprints tell a formidable tale. It is no fallacy. Some make it far. I'm glad to be amongst them. Suturing them close, not revealing the hem. Imperiling the imminent unknown that has to come yet. Those footprints divulge her, not her silhouette. Thank you.
Wow, that was awesome. I have been always, I envy her for the way she rhymes and the way she, actually can write such long poems. Poems is something which I learned from her. Okay. So
Right.
a lot to learn from her. I mean, I started if I have to cite an example of embracing equity, I will give that credit to Rashmi Nair today, because I started writing poetry inspired by her poems.
Yeah, you can say whatever.
Because I was the one who reviewed her books right here in UBI, and that's how we got together. And yes, our book also came in after the marathon we ran. So one footprint in Impetus and one footprint here. So it was lovely to hear you after a very long time. Rajni, the way you recited it, I mean, it was awesome, and I really envy you for rhyming those things. It just comes naturally to her, and I can never do that.
But I'm always criticized for it because my brother's a much better writer. He always kicks me for trying to rhyme. So yeah. So I'll go on to the next piece so we don't like overdo the time. It's also a part of that anthology. Although this was also published in there was a local magazine they were launching here in KL. So mine was one of the first poems in that. It's called Many a Woman, the fairer sex she is called. Bigotry begins when the tone's askew. Most overlook many a splendor of the heart, that beauty is only skin deep, so true. They say a woman is weak and fragile, that she cannot withstand many a blow. Visceral heal the psychological unseen. She endures them all, watch her flow. A woman is an actor par excellence, not because she makes up the emotions. She's the one to don many a role with ease, devotes her all to each one without notions. Begetting another life into the world, only a woman is capable of this miracle. Nurturing it with every drop of her blood, never breathless, like she has a spiracle, like she has many a spiracle. Many a time ill-treated, misunderstood, those taunts she turns a deaf ear to. She knows within that she is not alone, has to surge onward, cannot rue. Many a woman are prey, unfortunate, know not what hit them, lose their tenacity. Many a woman, not victims, revolting predators, scandalous it seems, but it's a veracity. Here I have put the other bit as well, where women are not just victims, but also the predators. The last verse, the last few lines go, grueling it is sometimes to reach out, darkness enveloping the vast extent, many a so-called friend retreating, malicious minds who do not relent. Woman, oh woman, such is life's rancor, many a thing bring your fortitude to the fore. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
I have read that before. So yes, the only question I have from you here is, I love the way you title your poems. So this was one of the titles which I liked a lot. And there are I mean, there are very few people very few women who actually talk about women being predators. So what do you have to say on that?
Well, why shouldn't we acknowledge that there are some who are not on this side of the fence? Because there are many who are happy, they're sadists. They would like you to suffer if they have suffered, or if they are people who are of a mindset where they wouldn't want you to do well or be happy, they would most definitely try to harm you in whatever possible way, or at least laugh on the sidelines. So why should I not acknowledge that? Because I believe truth is truth, you can't change it. So yes, as much as women are victims, some of them are predators.
Truly.
I
I'll move
love
on
the
to
fact that
others.
I love
Yeah,
the fact that you
human-
said that, Rajni. because this is something that I have been, pointing out quite a lot, that this does happen. And to be able to sort of, close your eyes, shut your ears and say it doesn't happen is stupidity. So I totally agree with you that I think we have both sides of the coin, and there are all kinds of people, and it is very important to accept. And yes, you're very much right. Truth is truth, and you should speak the truth. And I do believe that you did justice to both poems in a way that I would have loved to see from you. Because I'd heard about your book, and then Divya had spoken about impetus, and I already knew about it, and I was just waiting to hear you. And what a brilliantly written piece and a brilliantly rendered piece. And I like
Thank
the
you.
strength in your poetry. I love
Thank
the
you,
way
thank
that
you.
you bring so much of strength to your poetry. Very nicely written, my dear.
Thank you very
More
much.
strength to
Thank
you.
you.
More strength to
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was really a wonderful composition and wonderful recitation. And that bold feeling which comes from it, that is really, really strong. Loved it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have always admired you, Rajni. So I have so many.
Yeah.
I have copies of your books. So it's, and during the UBI marathon, which I was also part of, I used to really look forward to yours and Divya's.
Thank you.
Both emote in different ways. So Divya's is always different, and yours is again. I see that power, that aggression. The words fall in place. I really admire both of you. So when you came together for Impetus, it was a real treat.
Thank
And
you.
today was
Thank,
amazing.
thank
So I
you.
think when we have a civilization, when we have a race, we have both kinds. We have predators, we have victims. But in our women's case, I think a lot of times it's because we were victims that now we have to become predators somewhere. So we are a mix of both. The thing is to search forward, reducing one and becoming more, giving more importance to the positiveness. But beautiful, Rajni, as usual.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
You must be thinking very deeply to talk about such subjects. I'm sure. Must be a deep thinker.
I don't know that, but yes, I guess most people believe that I do. But I'm blessed that it happens the way it does. So I'm really happy. At least that's one of the things that I can do well, if I may say so. So thank you very much.
Yeah, God bless you.
Thank you.
The predators, the women predators you spoke about, the most obvious ones are in the field of human trafficking, where we find the women predators. They play the main, a very important role.
It's
Isn't it?
unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah, it's very true. Thank you for
Pleasure,
reciting
pleasure.
these
Thank you.
poems.
Thank you so much.
That
Rajni, it
was
was
beautiful to hear you.
yeah,
Parul, go on.
absolute delight. Forthright, hard hitting,
Thank
and
you.
no mix of words. And I think that is a kind of writing which really inspires me, because that is what I always aim to do in my work. I mean, that's what somewhere I think the responsibility lies on the shoulders of writers to just be honest. I think honesty. Writers are those, I think, is that profession which has that privilege of being honest. In other jobs, somewhere or other, we have to maintain that politeness, and we cannot often say the truth. But as a writer, we have that privilege, and I think I look up to writers like you who are so forthright
Thank
and
you.
honest.
Thank you.
In writing. And I'll definitely now buy your books and read more of you.
Thank you. I try
Yeah,
to
you
keep.
should. I think you should go for both. I mean, Bouquet of Emotions. Oh my God, it was really emotional. For me, at least it was, and I really connected with her poems. So it's very easy to actually
I actually keep it very simple. What is the point in writing? I mean, I don't like to use big words unless it's a requirement. Otherwise, I mean, no point writing something that somebody doesn't understand. It's wasted effort. So yeah, I keep it simple. I believe in keep it simple, silly. So yeah, I mean, that's how. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the appreciation. Thank you.
Great. So I think we are having a wonderful time out here. Sunday well today is Sunday. Yes, today is Sunday. Yes, that's Sunday. Well, what is it? Not finding words again. Right. Well spent.
Well spent.
Great. And moving on to our next poet. I hope I get to hear some Hindi from
I'm
you.
sorry, I'm just going to turn off my video for a bit. I just need to make an urgent phone call, but I'm listening.
Yeah, great. Great. Our next poet is Kavita Srinivasan, who goes by her pen name KS, and I love that, is a serial entrepreneur, a corporate professional, motivational speaker, and an avid writer and poet, and a mentor with innovation as a mantra for every aspect in life. She's a seagull and a humanist who is a constant support and inspiration to all. Her passion is to write poetry in English and Urdu, with her takhallus being Nazm. Her first book, Unfinished, A Woman's Tryst with Destiny, sold around 600 plus copies. And her very soon to be released book is Midnight Musings, which is a collection of her quotes and poems, which she writes in the midnight hours. Wow. She lives in Dubai, UAE, managing her new business, and has decided to dedicate the rest of her life to inspire and serve mankind. Being always high on life, she believes she is not done until she is really done, and thus remains unfinished. I like you that way, Kay. And yeah, the first time I think when I, told her to join the open mic, I think it was a lovely morning that day. I guess I was off to my work, and she just made my day with her inspiring words. Thank you so much, Kay.
My pleasure.
Over to you.
Thank you so very much. Lovely to see all of you women, such beautiful writers, such emotions, such strong, I would say, characters. And because I heard Rajni just now, and I think it is more apt, I was going to start with an Urdu piece, so I'm going to start with an English piece because this is very apt, and I think I'm going to dedicate this to you because I always believe that words have temperature, so we should use them very judiciously. I think we can either present them as a bouquet, a wreath, or a garland, right? So a bouquet can be life, a wreath can be for death, and a garland can be for a prayer or for honor. So hence, this is titled Words. And this is basically what I am saying to the universe and everybody else. Words are all I have left deep within me to express my heartfelt gratitude to thee. Like a river often, and sometimes a creek, they flow from my brain's private retreat. Emotions, feelings, and expressions too find their way in communique with you. Made of simple and complex ones or two, sentences made of different words for you. I endeavor forever to unravel and present a multitude of thoughts that are at play. I endeavor forever to unravel and present a multitude of thoughts that are at play in a story, a poem, or sometimes a quote. For words are all I have to freely give away. For words are all I have to freely give away. Thank you.
Wow.
This one's for Rajni.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Words are all I have.
To freely give away.
Yes, I think we all have words, yes. And that's our strength today.
Very much, very much. I will continue.
What's next?
The
And
next
Urdu?
one, yeah. The next
Wow,
one.
I would love to hear that.
The next one is titled Aurat. Since we are at, I think, just before Women's Day, I think I'm going to dedicate this to all of you again. Again, feelings that come from a whole lot of experiences throughout my life. And here it goes. कोई बेटी कहता है तो कोई बीवी बनाता है, किसी की माँ हूं तो कोई बहू बनाता है, किसी की बहन हूं मैं, कोई दादी बनाता है। वजूद जाने बिना मेरा हर कोई रिश्ता जोड़ता है। कायनात का हुस्न हूं मैं, मालिक की खास दुआ हूं मैं, तेरे मिट्टी के पुतले को जन्म देने वाली माँ हूं मैं। जब गिरो तो उठाने वाली एक हसीन ताकत हूं मैं, तुम्हारे हर जख्म की मरहम भी बन जाती हूं मैं। सुनहरी यादों के सपने सजाने वाली हूं मैं, और दुश्मन को तबाह करने वाली आतिश भी हूं मैं। तेरी तरबियत की शान और पहचान भी हूं मैं, तेरे गुनाहों को माफ करके सुधारने वाली हूं मैं। वक्त जैसे फिसल जाऊं मगर उस साहिल की रेत भी हूं मैं, तुझसे अलग होकर भी तेरा ही एक हिस्सा बन जाती हूं मैं। कभी न समझने वाली एक राज भी बन जाती हूं मैं, कभी न समझने वाली एक राज की तरह हूं मैं। पहचान न सको तुम वो शख्सियत हूं मैं, भटके हुए रूहों का जमीर भी बन जाती हूं मैं, भटके हुए रूहों का जमीर भी बन जाती हूं मैं। अपनी ही पहचान से जीने वाली औरत हूं मैं, अपने ही पहचान से जीने वाली औरत हूं मैं। Thank you so very much. Happy Women's Day, everybody.
This was superb, and whatever you say Hindi, it's different. The emotions, the thoughts, the voice, oh my God, this was an entire package. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this treat. It's
Thank you.
just
Thank you. Honored. Thank you. Humbled and honored. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Very, very importantly, UBI and very much Divya. Thank you. It's been
You're
wonderful to listen to
welcome.
all of you.
It's a pleasure to have all of you here. I though it was my first attempt on everyone, like I was like, come on, koi to mil jaye. And like I think the first time I messaged, I think everyone came in. So it was just I think the universe planning us to be here
Very
right here
much.
today.
Very
So
much. There's always a right time for everything.
Completely loved both of your pieces, and they were really inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you. Thank you for the dedication. I mean, I don't think I'm worthy enough. I think it's for everyone. And I need to be, I mean, I only think in English, so I really don't translate it into any other language, but I should do that. So I don't really attempt to translate it to any other language, but I must.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Actually, I think sometimes what happens is I think writing in other language, you need to think in that language to write in the language. It doesn't make sense to be thinking in one language and
yeah,
writing
that's
in
my
other.
problem. Even if I'm
Yes.
speaking Malayalam, I'm thinking in English.
Ah.
So yeah, thanks to my mother, she was working for a publication. So I grew up thinking in English all the time. And unfortunately or fortunately, I am an English teacher. So it requires me to speak in and think in
Very
English
well.
all the time. So yeah.
I
But
totally
yeah,
get
I mean, maybe like I say, I always say I'm a lazy writer. That's why I'm a poet. Because I'm very lazy. It's easier to write shorter lines than write like at length. But yeah, I need to get over that. And yeah, I have to write in other languages too. I must. They were wonderful. I mean, everyone has been really wonderful.
Yes, yes. It has been an honor to be part of this August gathering. Beautifully written. Everybody. Thank you.
I loved both your pieces, Kay, and the first poem, that part which says the words come from a very deep retreat. That
Inspiring.
part. I mean, it was so relatable. I'm sure everyone would have related with that piece. I think that best describes when we just sit down and the words just come from a place we don't
nowhere.
know, from the depth of our heart. So I think you have described it so wonderfully.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
in poem, that part about bhatki hui रूहों का ज़मीर हूँ मैं, I think that was very keen insight. It was very insightful because many a times women actually play that role of showing the light.
Yes.
And
Showing
that
the
person,
mirror.
yes, I mean, maybe to their child or to their beloved or the husband. Many a times women play that role of showing what is the right path. I think that you have brought out very beautifully in your piece. Very insightful.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Now it is my honor and pleasure to announce the next vote to all of you. She's the host of this evening, a brilliant young lady. She has carried this off with Elan, and so I think it is apt that I should introduce her to you. So Divya Venkateshwaran, as you all know probably, is a writer by passion and a trainer by profession. She calls herself a Sundoku. She's fascinated by literature. Sundoku, for all of you who does not know what it means she hoards books that she does not get to read. So
that.
she,
I used to read a lot, but now I do not. I just
I'm sure
hoard
you'll
them.
get back to
Yes,
being a reader
I
rather
need
than a
to.
Sundoku. So she first started with Soulful Stories for TOI under Soul Curry, their section under, called Soul Curry. And her love for reading got the better of her, and she's, she started writing reviews for upcoming authors and any book titles that she was fascinated by. She's a music enthusiast, loves to listen to music, and also a trained classical singer. This is something I believe we should have a different program for, to listen to her singing. She's contributed to multiple anthologies, stories in the form of stories, poems, and articles. Her first published book is a collab with our dearest Rajni Nair called Impetus, Rhymes Within Us, and I do need to get that book. And I need to probably drop into India or into Kuala Lumpur to get a signature of both of yours, right? She wrote a solo much later called Slice of Reverie, which is a Kindle ebook. And she worked as an editor with Health Warriors and Survivors, which was conceptualized by our own Sapna Shivani Kekare for United by Ink. And currently lives in Mumbai working with an edtech company. What a vast introduction from one end to the other. And without further ado, let's listen to Divya Venkateshwaran.
Thank you so much, Kay, for that lovely introduction. I am a trained classical singer, but I don't sing much nowadays. But yes, I have
most
not
of us
lost
here are
touches.
probably.
Lost touch. I'm still at it.
I think if you're a South Indian, you don't have a choice but to be into classical music or Bharatanatyam.
I am bathroom singer.
Actually, I used to hate to go to music classes because I loved to play cricket down with boys. And so I used to hate to go to music classes, but I regretted it later when I had actually stopped learning, and I was a part of my music team in the college. So rest apart, moving on to my piece. The first one is Woman, a Sacred Soul. Her virtue being prudent and vigorous, poised, prim, and proper, always on her toes. Gets everything done, come what may. God has dressed her with finesse. Her ability to pray for and protect her family, no matter she has to run errands. She knows Almighty is watching over her loved ones. She doesn't stop, stands with her armored shield. Sacrificing her time and herself, putting her desires and goals away to see others succeed while she is at ease. Multifaceted, leading from the front. Takes blow after blow in spiritual warfare, yet has beautiful skin and a godly glow. Taking the devil under her feet, not accepting defeat. Blessed by God, she's above and never beneath. She is above and never beneath. Thank you so much.
Beautifully
next-
written.
Thank you so much. The next one of mine is a new try, which is Hinglish, not English or Hindi per se, but yes, this is very amateurish because I just wrote it that way. So yeah. कैसे कह दूं कि you are not enough? कैसे कह दूं कि you are not enough? लव का स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट तुम्ही से, लाइफ को लाइफ से मिलाना भी तुम्ही से. कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? सारे जहां की हैप्पीनेस तुम्ही से, जिंदगी का आधार भी तुम्ही से, तो फिर कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? विजडम का भंडार हो जब माँ कहलाती हो, वाइफ, बेटी, बहू, फ्रेंड, हर रिश्ते में रंग जाती हो. कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? कभी कठोर, कभी वाइस हो, एक भी हो और अनेक भी हो. कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? कैसे कर लेती हो इतने सैक्रिफाइसेस, कहां से लाती हो इतना बल? बताओ कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? मुस्कुराकर कह देती हो forget it, दर्द भुलाकर कर लेती हो move on, तो फिर कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? छोड़ आई तुम ड्रीम्स अपने पीछे कहीं, उस घर को संभालने जहां तुम्हारा नेम भी नहीं. कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? कभी लक्ष्मीबाई, कभी झलकारी हो, कभी सरोजनी जैसी पोएटिस भी. फिर कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? एक राजा के कहने पे जहर को पी जाओ, ऐसी मीरा भी हो तुम. कैसे कह दूं you are not enough? You are not enough. ये कैसे कह दूं? Thank you so much.
Wow. I like the second poetry, and it was definitely not amateurish. It was a very innovative kind of poetry, I must say. You have written it very differently, and it brought a very nice feel to the entire audience itself. I'm sure that everybody had a smile on the face when they were listening to you. So it was beautifully written, wonderfully written, both pieces. And yes, I do agree with, I think, Aarti, who was saying that, Divya writes emotionally. I think, yeah, you're more of the emotions kind, and
Yeah,
Rajni is more of the powerful kind.
I am an emotional fool, so yes.
Fool as in flower.
No,
Yeah.
that is fool. That is fool. That is not fool.
नहीं,
No,
अगर
but I think
all
it's okay to
Madrasis
be
would say fool only.
no, but I say fool.
So we will
No,
say fool.
K has rightly said emotional fool.
हाँ, emotional fool. मैंने सही कहा ना. Very beautifully written, my dear.
Thank you so much. Kay. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, Divya. As usual, I expected something different. You never disappoint. The second one obviously takes the cake. First one is, of course, very nice, beautiful. But second one is, it's different. It was playful, but at the same time, it exposed many lies, many truths, many facts. So it's beautiful. English, not amateurish at all, from nowhere. And yes, as writers, we have to be emotional fools. That's how
Exactly.
sets us apart from the normal tribe. Need to be.
Thank you so
Unbelievable.
much.
It's
Thank
fine.
you
You send it to me, please. I want the poem. The new generation now tells us that it's not
Yes.
poem, it's poem.
Yeah,
My
and
kids-
she's taunting me because I keep telling her it's not poem, it's poem.
It's poem.
No, but I tend to
I
pronounce.
bring myself to pronounce it correctly still.
It is
No,
poem.
I tend to mispronounce a lot of words
Yeah.
incorrectly. So
And there's no
Rajni has
point
been
correcting her.
Rajni has always been my
I've given
editor
up.
per se, the poem or look again, poem or anything which I write. I
Gives
call
me
her
too
my
much credit.
personal editor. And
That she gives me too much credit for, I mean, I really don't deserve it.
and actually I am very bad at pronouncing words. Like I pronounce there for there. So the
I send
first
you a
time
high five
Now I don't flinch.
because I share the same thing. So I keep
So-
learning. There are still times when I'm Googling the right pronunciation. It's all right. I mean, we learn it. Okay. So it's okay. High five to you.
I
no,
don't
but
agree.
yes,
At the
I
end of the
have
day, English
taken
is
it
not
as a
a
learning.
native language. At the end of the day, English is not a native language. In South, we say air cell. We don't say air. Like Divya says there, that's how we pronounce.
Oh, she doesn't say there, she says
No,
there
I
and
don't
word.
say there, I say there.
There and word.
No problem. I don't
Now she
think
writes it also like that only.
I don't agree. I think the thoughts matter. So every
I mean,
nowadays
that's just a joke.
It's
so
okay.
many dialects. So this is Indian English. This is Divya
Indian
English.
English, yeah, that's what.
Very
English,
well written.
English.
Very well written pieces. Very well written.
Yes, Divya, both poems I really liked. And the first one actually made me feel so good about being a woman. Those lines about God has dressed her in finesse. Those verses were really beautiful. And the second one, you conveyed a powerful message in a very playful manner. Although I missed a part because I think network was a problem, it got stuck somewhere. But still, I enjoyed. And that's a brilliant art to be able to convey strong message in a playful, light manner. That's a very, very skillful art. Not everyone can do that. So,
Yes,
congratulations to you for that.
It was I think the second poem which I have written like this. The first one was about life. So I just thought let's make it. I mean, I couldn't put myself to write in Hindi for this particular one. So I mean, this is a new one which I wrote for this open mic. So yes,
Very nice.
thank you so much. Thank you. So much.
Wonderful.
All said and done, it's very innovative and you've expressed yourself very nicely over here.
Thank you so much.
Both the poems, very nice.
Thank you so much.
Write more like this.
Surely, I
can't
will
order
try my
you,
best.
but
I will try my best to write like this English ones.
You can do it. You
Surely.
can do it.
It was a lovely evening with all of you here, and I mean, it's a Sunday well spent, I guess, for all of you. I mean, these beautiful moments which we shared here. I'll cherish it, and I'm sure that UBI is going to cherish it for sure. I think this was the longest open mic running with, wherever women, they just start off, right? So I think, yeah, so this was the longest open mic we had, but we had such good fun and such amazing poetry shared. You all just made my day. Thank you so much for coming in just one request to all those whom I reached out. Very thankful. UBI is thankful for all of you to be here today. Please follow our Facebook group. Do follow us on Instagram as well. And yes, please subscribe to the YouTube channel because you all are going to be there. So yes, have a great evening, all of you. This is Divya signing off. Hope to see you all very soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Brilliant job, Divya. Brilliant job.
thank you. Thank you for inviting
Yeah.
me.
Thank